Okay, so there is one major mechanism by which the body heals itself, and it is really important to know this. If you are going to have any kind of success using natural healing in an emergency situation or just in life in general, you need to know this mechanism, because this is how you're going to help your body do what it's already doing. So we've heard so much about gut health in the last several years, but we're still missing the boat. We're still not getting it. You know, we're focused on the microbiome. We're focused on, you know, what antibiotics do. We're focused on inflammation and gluten intolerance and IBS and all of these other things. And it's so much simpler than that. And we're completely missing the boat on it. So let's talk about how your health begins and ends in the gut. So your digestive tract takes everything in that you ingest. It has to process it, it has to absorb it, and it has to send everything to all of the other parts of the body. Now, the digestive tract also has to eliminate all of the waste material in the body, so it kind of has functions that completely cross one another in the same organ. So it's a very, very complex mechanism for the body. So your digestive tract is where the majority of water is also removed from your food and it's absorbed into your body. And if this organ's function is impaired in any manner by what you put into it, every organ and every process in the body is also impaired. Every organ in your body is fed by your bowel. Every organ in your body is cleansed by your bowel. So if you're not getting in what your body needs, your organs are going to be malnourished. They just will. And I want to talk briefly about your brain. Your brain is an organ too. For some reason, science has us cut off at the neck, and they let religion have this realm, and they took this realm. So for some reason, we have this image that what goes on in the brain is some airy fairy space that kind of looks like outer space, and we don't really know what goes on in there, but something looks like lightning, you know. And we don't really understand what's going on in the brain. But I'm going to tell you, your brain is an organ just like any other organ, and you can cut it out of the body and you can slap it on a metal plate just like your liver or anything else. If your organ function is impaired in any way, your brain function is impaired. It just is. So the idea that we are always thinking clearly, or, you know, it's just a fallacy. If your body is malnourished in any way, your brain is malnourished also. So if you want to have a clear head, if you want to be able to make good decisions, if you want to have good emotions, if you want to have a positive, happy life, you need to look at your brain as an organ that needs nourishment, and it also needs waste material removed as well. So, and all of that happens in the gut. Your digestive tract removes far more waste material than any other channel of elimination your body has. So we very much need to look at the health of our bowel. So the blood and the liver are two other major components we need to understand. Your liver processes almost every toxin and waste material in your body, and it converts it into either bile or urine. And it will secrete bile out through your digestive tract. It will secrete urine to the kidneys, and it'll eliminate through the bladder. But your blood picks everything up that is waste from every cell in your body, and it carries it to the liver. The liver processes it all. It neutralizes those toxins, and then it secretes it out through the digestive tract or the kidneys and bladder. So it's really important to understand the function of the blood, the liver, and the bowel in cleansing and detoxification. Now, what causes disease? All disease is just blockage. It is blockage and malnourishment. So blockage and malnourishment are the causes of over 90% of all diseases. Yes, this includes cancer, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Somewhere something is blocked or malnourished or both. When we consume products that are devoid of nutrients, our cells become malnourished and they're unable to function optimally. When we consume products that contain ingredients that the body's not designed to process effectively, we gum up the works. and we make it really difficult for the body to remove them in addition to its own natural waste. So if it's having difficulty removing that, how efficient is it at removing its own waste? It's just not going to. And so you end up with just a toxic buildup in the body. The key to vitality is remove the blockage through cleansing and detoxification and restore proper nourishment to your cells. It's really that simple. That is 90% of all healing. And there is a very specific order that you need to do this in if you're going to do this safely. So you've all seen a dam before, right? So when you dam up a river, a few things happens. You can think of the river or the dam as the blockage, and you can think of the river as the proper flow of nutrients in and out of the body. When you dam up a river, you end up with an underflow below the dam. And then you end up with a backflow, or you end up with flooding immediately above the dam. And then you end up with, somewhat flooding in the tributaries and whatnot that are feeding into it. So people who want to do cleansing of their body, I hear people say all the time, oh, I'm going to do a liver cleanse. And my first question is did you cleanse your bowels first? And most people say, no, I don't know anything about that. I just have somebody putting me on a liver cleanse. And I said, run like your life depends on it, because it does. If you're cleansing out of order, it's like adding water to the water that's behind that dam. You're flooding it even more. That dam is going to break, and you're going to have massive, massive problems below the dam when it breaks. You're going to have horrific problems. The key is to start letting water out through the dam. And eventually you want to clear the dam out. And then the water that's immediately behind the dam will start to move. And then those areas that have been overflowing with waste material will start to heal and repair, and they'll come back to life. So then you can start doing other cleansing from higher up. So we always do our cleansing in a very specific order. Always cleanse the bowel first. That's the last place where the waste material is before it exits the body. Clear the exits first. Clear your exit. So clear the bowel first. Do some thorough, proper bowel cleansing, because your body's going to have to throw all of that toxic material somewhere. And if it's already backed up, what's it going to do? Well, your bowel is also involved in absorption. So it's going to absorb all of that stuff, and it's just going to run through your bloodstream. It can make you incredibly sick, and it can give you what we call toxemia, which is deadly. So if anyone's telling you about liver cleansing and they have not talked to you about your bowel, you need to run like your life depends on it, because it does. So cleanse your bowel first. Get it working, get it functioning, get all of that garbage out of there. Go have a series of colonics. Give yourself a high enema. Take some bowel cleansing herbs, whatever you have to do. Stop putting the things in there that are gumming up the works. Start putting things in there that will start moving everything through. Now, while you're cleansing your bowel, do not stop cleansing your bowel. Then you can go to the liver, because the liver is the next place that's dumping toxic material out of your body. So start cleansing the liver, but don't stop cleansing your bowel, because now it's dealing with a really heavy load, because the liver is finally purging. So you want to make sure they're both continuing to move. Then once you're, I would also work on the kidneys and bladder. You can work on the kidneys and bladder at the same time as the liver. And then start working on the blood. Do not start taking a lot of blood cleansing herbs, like what most people take for cancer, for example. Don't do those until you've cleansed your bowel first, and you've done a lot of liver cleansing as well. Once you've got both of those systems moving, now you can start cleaning the blood, because the blood is going to start picking up all of this waste material from in and around all of your cells, and it's going to start pushing it to your liver. Well, if your liver's already backed up because the bowel was backed up and it had nowhere to go, you're going to cause inflammation in your liver. You can kill yourself that way. Don't do that. Cleanse your bowel first, continue cleansing it while you cleanse your liver, and get your liver really well cleaned out before you start pushing anything from the blood to your liver. Your liver will handle it once it's clean. So this is the order of cleansing, and this is always the direction we go. Now, if you're having symptoms, we do have other channels of elimination. Those are the upper respiratory tract, the skin, and your kidneys and bladder. So if you're having issues in any of those areas, 9 times out of 10, your bowels are backed up. You know, anytime someone comes to me and they've got an upper respiratory tract infection or they've got a cold, and I tell them, well, you need to do some bowel cleansing. They think it's funny because this is where they're having the issue, and I'm telling them to work down there. Well, that's the major channel of elimination. Your body's only shoving it up here because it can't get down through down there. So this is why we do cleansing. All right. The common cold. The cold, and this is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. A cold is your body's natural detoxification process. There is no cure for the cold, and there never will be, because the cold is the cure. The cold is the cure for an accumulation of toxins, mucus, and other things in your body. So modern medicine, what do? We get a cough, we get a sniffle, and what do? We run down and we take some cough suppressant. Well, why would you want to do that when your body has a ton of mucus in the lungs and it's trying to get out so you can breathe better? So then we have a lot of, you know, mucus and whatnot in our sinuses. And so what do? We want to suppress the function of creating mucus, which is really a problem. And it's a problem because mucus is being formed in your body in order to buffer against toxins or allergens or anything else. So you don't want to stop the body's production of mucus. You just simply want to get that mucus out of your body. So natural healing would speed up that detoxification process, whereas modern medicine would be suppressing it and making your problem worse. So then the cold you get next time is going to be even worse. So the only way to keep from getting colds, keep your body really healthy, make sure that it can naturally cleanse and eliminate on a regular basis, and you won't have the buildup unless you find yourself in a situation, that's just unusual.